Hey loves. So I had been seeing this trend on TikTok about things that you do to fill your own cup. And I was like, yes, we need to do this video, okay? Because singleness doesn't mean we're waiting around doing nothing, okay? There are so many ways to love yourself, pour into yourself, and live softly while still building a life you love and while waiting on your man to come find you, okay? So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you all the things that I do to fill my cup in hopes that it gives you some encouragement to make the most of your year this year, no matter what season of life you're in. Let's go ahead and get to today's video. All right, so the first way that I like to fill my cup is by taking myself on solo dates. Okay, y'all know I am here for a good solo date because I deserve romance and intention, even if I'm the one that has to give it, okay? I started this series on my page called Living Life Like a Fairy Tale, where you're not waiting for love to live a life you love. And that has kind of been my solo date series, my solo date excitement as I'm out here trying to love on myself in the midst of waiting. I'm actually getting ready to take myself on a solo date today. But yes, take yourself on solo dates. My second way that I fill my cup, I do have my notes here, is to create boundaries. Okay. I know this is probably not a typical thing that people talk about, but creating boundaries that protect my peace and my mental state of being has been so crucial for me in building my cup. And it's not just necessarily boundaries with people, but it's also boundaries in the type of content that I consume and how much time I'm spending on social media and just everything that I'm taking into my ear gates, my heart, and all of those things. Another way that I create boundaries is say no. It has been hard for me to learn how to say no over the years. And so I'm learning how to get more comfortable in my no and letting my no be the full sentence, like no, period, like without over explaining myself. So saying no, limiting interactions with people who drain my peace, who are full of drama, like all of those things have been so critical for me in filling my cup. So maybe this is a sign for you to take some time to evaluate the people and things in your life that might be draining you and depleting you, and figure out some ways to create some boundaries around that, because we cannot pour from empty cups ourselves, right? And sometimes it's so easy for us, especially as women, because we wear so many hats. We're nurturers and all this thing on all these things. So we give. But sometimes it's okay to put up some boundaries to protect yourself so that you can continue to show up in your own life in a healthy way. So the next way I The next way I fill my cup is to move my body and prioritize like an active, healthy lifestyle. Now, for those of you that have been rocking with your girl, y'all know I ruptured my Achilles in June of 2025. Okay. And I am still on the recovery journey. I'm no longer in a boot, but I still can't wear heels, and I'm still in physical therapy twice a week. But even in the midst of that, I've started to get back into walking, and I've started seeing my trainer and slowly trying to get back into an active lifestyle, because for me, when I look good, okay, I feel good. Okay. It's something about when I put on my clothes and they fit the curves the right way, they hug the body the right way. Like, it just helps me feel good about myself. And so, yeah, I'm all about building that confidence by being active. Something I am challenging myself to do this year, though, is also to be more intentional about what I put in my body. Last year, as part of like the fast that we did at church, I stopped eating dairy. Well, I greatly limited my dairy intake, and potato chips, which is my favorite snack. Okay. Chips and dip is my go-to. And ever since then, I've really been noticing positive improvements on my body in terms of my skin and just overall feeling. And so this year, I really want to challenge myself to create more of a routine for myself in terms of vitamins and things that I'm actually getting in my body. Once I get that routine down, I will share with y'all. But right now, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm proud of myself though. Today, I did take all my vitamins, and so I feel good. But yes, doing something active, doing something healthy is a way that makes me feel good as a single woman. Plus, pro tip, the men's be at the gym, y'all. The men's be at the gym. Don't ever say Lady V ain't told you nothing, okay? So the next way that I like to fill my cup should come as no surprise to all of you because y'all already know this about me, but traveling, okay? Traveling the world and experiencing new things, new cultures. It's something that reminds me just how vast and how big our world is and how I don't need to put my life on hold for someday. I know growing up, I used to have these visions, not necessarily growing up, but in my adult years, early adult years, I would have visions of traveling the world with my future husband. And while that still can happen, there's a lot of world to see, okay? And I'm not trying to wait on him to start the journey. And so that is why it is one of my goals to at least go out of the country at least once a year. I've been averaging like 2 to 3 times a year, but at least once a year, and just to travel and see more of the world. So yeah, that's just something that helps to remind me that there's so much of life to live. And I don't want to be living my life solely waiting to enjoy it with another person, right? So if traveling is something that you've been considering, then I would encourage you to take yourself on a trip, right? Even if you don't feel comfortable going internationally or whatever, maybe you just take a trip, like a day trip to the neighboring town where you can just drive there and just kind of start to live your life for you, y'all. Y'all know that is what I'm about over here. It's just building a life that we love and actually living it fully and not just living it in wait. So yeah, traveling is definitely top on the list of how I fill my cup. Okay, so another way that I fill my cup, and this is something that is becoming more and more fun for me, is investing in my appearance and soft luxury. I have been having a lot of fun trying to figure out my personal style and trying to elevate in my fashion and my makeup and my hair and all the things. And I'm not doing it to seek validation from anybody or anything like that. I'm just doing it to celebrate the woman that I'm becoming. As I'm getting more confident, I'm finding that my fashion choices are becoming a bit bolder or a bit more put together. And my current craze right now, if you will, is accessorizing. I'm not really an accessories kind of girl. I'm always going to have some earrings because I love earrings, but really just elevating an outfit with accessories, sunglasses, jewelry, bags, and all those things. So it's really been fun for me and it's made me feel full. And so I would encourage you this year to maybe invest in yourself. Pick one thing. I try to pick at least one thing every year, but pick one thing that you want to focus on, whether it's your hair or your makeup. If you're into makeup, I'm not saying you have to, okay? Or your fashion or whatever it is, and start to invest in that and see how it makes you feel. Cause it definitely got your girl feeling all kinds of confident over here. Okay. I'm always shopping though. So that could be a problem. Yeah. All right. So another way that I fill my cup is to protect my self-care time, y'all. I do not compromise on my self-care rituals. Okay. Getting my nails done, doing something to my hair, getting waxed because I do that too. Just taking care of my overall body, getting facials, massages, all of those things. I think so often, again, like I said, women, we wear so many different hats, right? Not everybody that watches my page is single, but we're working women, we're moms, we're friends, we're sisters, we're cousins. We show up in the world in so many different ways that sometimes it can be very easy to miss out on pouring into yourself or to skip a self-care appointment or any of those things. So for me, I try to make sure that I don't skip out on my self-care appointment. I literally have a reminder in my phone the first Sunday of the month to schedule all my self-care maintenance, okay? Because that's how important it is for me. In order for me to show up as my best self for other people, I have to feel like my best self. So don't negotiate your self-care, y'all, okay? And if you don't do self-care, then I would encourage you to pick something and try it out this year. I'm all about pushing you all to really get out there, get out of your comfort zones, and to start investing in yourself so that you can live a full life where you're not waiting on love to start living a life you love. Okay, just a couple of more. But another way that I fill my cup, y'all, is surrounding myself with a good community of women. Okay. Sometimes being single means you stuck in the house, but it doesn't always have to be that way, right? And I'm so grateful and so fortunate and so blessed to have a wide array of friendships who I can call to get out of the house or just call when I'm in the house to have somebody to talk to and to just get out there. And women who also pour into me into this season as I try to pour into them as well. I think having a beautiful community of women walking this journey alongside with you just helps to keep your heart full. And there are days, y'all, where on this journey, my heart is not full. I am very much a wreck, a mess, crying or not feeling confident or not feeling beautiful or feeling like I'm never going to meet somebody. So I definitely have those slumps. And it's so great that when you have moments on the journey where you are tired, you are weary, and you want to give up, that you have a sister there to pick you up, to lift you up, whether it's physically or with her words. And I know recently, I'm not going to get emotional. This was supposed to be a light video. This was supposed to be a light video. I'm going through some things with my health. I don't want to say they're health challenges because I'm not giving power to that, but I'm just getting a lot of reports run and things, and just trying to, y'all know I keep it real with y'all, so I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm 38, and I'm trying to figure out what life looks like now that I don't have a partner, and I want to be a mother one day, if that's in God's will. And so I've been going through, just trying to gather as much information as I can with respect to the path to motherhood. And it has been challenging, especially given me having lupus. And so I won't get into details. I'm not ready to get into details of all of that, but I have friends who are praying for me in this season, friends who I can call and cry to. This was not part of my notes. So I guess somebody else out there needs this, because this is a little bit more vulnerable than I want to be. So yeah, I have friends who are lifting me up in this season, and that is why I know it's important to have a good community of women with you, surrounding you, because in those moments where it looks like all the odds are stacked against you, I have friends who pray for me. And in those moments where I don't want to pray myself, I have friends who intercede on my behalf. So it makes my heart so full. So to all of my women, my friends out there, I'm so grateful for all of y'all. And I thank y'all so much for being the sisters from another mister that I need. And that is what I try to be for everyone on this channel. I know not everybody has a good community of women. And so I hope that my page makes you all feel like you have a community, at least in me and those who comment and all the other women who follow this channel, that you have a community who is cheering you on, who you can come to, who can encourage you in moments where you are not feeling your best. So anyways, I'm gonna get off the sisterhood point because this took a completely different route. All my notes say about sisterhood is being surrounded by women who uplift, affirm, and hold space for me keeps my cup emotionally full. We took a whole detour, didn't we? All right, let's go on to the last point. All right, so the final point that I'll talk about today and how I fill my cup is just to unplug and reset. I am a very type A person, and I like to keep going and get all the things done. But lately, I have been learning to truly rest and reset and unplug. I took a couple of weeks off of social media earlier this year just to do things that I love to do. And it's been so great to have those moments to get back to things that I love, like reading or hanging out with friends, and not having to feel like I have to document everything. So unplugging and resetting, this is how I think of it. You either choose to unplug and reset, or your body forces you to unplug and reset. But it is inevitable that we all will need to unplug and reset at some point. And so I would just encourage you to, again, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So sometimes you might have to take some time to unplug and reset yourself so that your own cup can be full and you can continue to pour from that. All right, y'all, I probably had some more tips, but since this whole video took an emotional detour, we're going to leave it at that today. And instead, I'm going to ask you all to share with me, what ways do you fill your own cup? Y'all leave a comment below. Let your girl know. Y'all know I try to respond to all the comments, especially if you take time out to write one. So I would love to continue the discussion in the comments below. Y'all remember self-love. Okay, self-love is not selfish, and you deserve to love on yourself. So y'all keep growing, keep glowing, and keep filling your cup. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.